You seemed irritated.
Should I be?
Well, I mean...
I am a little irritated, but it's all good. Put your headphones on, little mama. Let's do this little podcast. Let's talk about some things. Let's turn off this ugly mug of a video and get going here. Welcome to 2218's Attitude for Gratitude weekly podcast that I believe is going on right now.
Is it on now?
It's on right now.
All
and
right.
here's what we're going to do to find out if it's on is just listen to some... I got to take my face off here. Hang on, audience. I'm sorry. I do this every week. My mug is on here. You know how this goes here. Banners. Boom. So was I being short with him?
Yep.
I was.
A little bit.
I'm just glad you were in here because I would have walked away from that conversation thinking they were short with me.
No.
I would have. I would have walked away from the conversation thinking they came in here and he was like, "Why you wasting my time?" He came in all hot and not friendly, but I'm glad you were here.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly how I felt and saw it. But that's because I went into that situation probably irritated, right?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, so audience, how is it going out there in Radio Land? Welcome back, everybody. So bear with me, you're going to hear an echo. Let me just see something here. All right, we're good. The podcast is going. Welcome back to the 2218's Attitude for Gratitude weekly podcast. There's an echo. You don't hear it. So, we've got Jess C in the house, and Rob H will be showing up. And we're going to have Ken W hop up here for a minute, talk a little bit about tomorrow. This is the big pre-show for the 2218's A Ride for Recovery. And I apologize about the beginning of the show, kind of. So I came in here to get this thing booted up, but this also falls on me because I came in with 10 minutes. I normally am in here an hour and a half early. And that falls on me because I came in here and all of a sudden I went to log in and it said I couldn't log in because none of the passwords worked. And instantly I got pissed. That's what happened. I got mad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here to be able to call me on this shit. Not call me on it, but to help me recognize what's going on.
Piss poor planning provides piss poor performance.
I don't think that's how that goes.
No, maybe not.
It's
but
piss,
it's
to prevent piss poor performance, you do better plan. No, I don't know. You're right.
It's something like that, though.
I'm going to owe Darren an apology. Let's put it that way. I owe him an apology, don't I?
Yes.
Or an amends?
Maybe.
So here's what happened. I got in here to start this show, and what I've been doing for 3 years, and that's the other thing. I'm not even going to get through the story. The other thing is this. I have this ego, and I also... I don't know what that's called where I feel that I'm owed something.
Maybe.
What's that called on my end? Like I feel
entitlement.
Yeah, so I feel entitled because of me doing this podcast. Like I think that's what it is. I feel entitled like, oh, this club owes me, or I do. Maybe that's what's going on. Is I feel for this last 3 years with Tad and with Elena and with Matt and all these people that have come and gone through the show, when this wasn't even my idea, it's something I just stuck with. Mm-hmm. I just did what I was asked to do. And yes, it fed my ego throughout, but damn it.
Don't they know who I am?
Is that what it was? This is 100% ego, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Jess. That's exactly what this is.
Don't they know who I am? Don't they know I'm coming?
Shit.
They should have been prepared for me.
I love you. See, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here to not call me out on it, but to help me see.
To be honest.
To help me see that, because if you weren't here, I promise you, if it was Rob or someone else who won, they would still kind of not co-sign my shit, but they'd have been like, oh hell yeah, you shouldn't have went through this. They should have had that password up for you. I'm glad you were here to be like, no, why were you being such an asshole, Tim? Basically, you're not that mean.
No.
But I know you well enough now to know that you're like, Tim, you're being an asshole.
Well, we can all be assholes.
Yeah, but you helped me remind you said it to me.
Oh.
Without saying it. Because I tried to log on and it said passwords were changed 2 months ago. Well, I've had 6 shows since 2 months ago and I've not had an issue with this. So instantly my brain's like, who came in here and messed with it? Who came in here and messed with my podcast? Oh. That's the first thing.
My stuff.
Yeah, mine. Me, mine. Mine. And that's not it at all. Darren came in here and said like, How did I already lose this again? Now my face is back up here. Oh, I got to put it on a loop. Sorry, guys. There we go. So Darren, who is like, I don't know if he's a VP here. He's part of the board, and everyone on the board's been running ragged, meaning they've been going nonstop with the Ride for Recovery, with trying to play catch up from this previous board, not to shoot down anyone from the previous board, but there was a mess left.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it goes from board to board. And unfortunately, as of the last few board switches, I know it's been some turmoil just because of things that have happened. Whatever. Not to get into the scuttlebutt. That's the gossip. That means
Drama.
Yeah, the drama. Not to get into that side of it, but there's been some stuff that has happened where from one board to the next, let's just say not everything was smooth. Not all passwords were handed off, or not all information was given. Not pointing fingers at anyone, but I know that's what happened. So that sometimes makes it tricky. But Darren stopped what he was doing. I imagine Scott must have ran over and found him because I was calling him, no answer. He's the only guy I could think of to reach out to. He came in here and asked what was up, and I told him, and I was short with him, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, could you recap? What did I say? 'Cause now I don't remember. I think I was that mad. Was I like, what's going on with my, what did I say? Why can't I get on my show?
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Or who changed the passwords, or...
That's what I said. I don't know. I said something because the password, I couldn't get on the show. I couldn't log in to the podcast, and me showing up late,
Yep.
even though it was before 8 o'clock, I didn't show up with enough time for this show. I always show up with way more than an hour. I ended up being late tonight.
Yeah.
And it's just not late. I just didn't show up as early as I normally do. So I didn't have the time to prepare for the show and get it up and running like I 99% of the time I do. The show is ready to just hit go live for like the last 40 minutes. From like 7:20 on, it's ready to just hit go live. And I'm sorry, audience, for going down this whole road of what happened. But I think there's a great lesson in this because I was wrong. I had snapped on this guy who basically he went and got me the passwords. He did everything that was necessary to do. And then he didn't co-sign my shit and said, sorry, you seemed a little irritated. And I was like, I was irritated. Shit, I'm going to have to go find him and apologize again. Whatever. So, you know what? The show's going. And I was all like, this is going to be my last show before we started the show. I was really hot.
You were.
I was like, don't worry. You'll never have to deal with this again. To Darren, I was saying that. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm done. That's bad.
Yeah.
I was going to take my ball and go home. Just like someone that I sit and bitch about who was part of this club, taking my ball and going home. I'll show them. That's what I did.
You should.
And on those same lines, let's talk about the Ride for Recovery. Because that almost got canceled. It almost got canceled. And I hope it wasn't the same as what I was just about to do. I hope that's not why it got canceled. From my understanding, the Ride for Recovery almost didn't happen because there wasn't enough volunteers. That's what the word was I was given from Cheryl and from a couple other people. They said, we just didn't have the volunteers to make it work. So it didn't happen. And then, like a week later, Bobby is like, yes, it's happening. 1,000% we're going to make this happen. And I know like Alicia and like, I don't even want to start naming names because I don't have all the names of the volunteers, but
I'm volunteering.
I know the Millers are volunteering. I know Jess is. I know numbers and numbers of people that have given money and donations. Your mom has graciously made some paintings. She's created some different things to put in the silent auctions.
Yep.
I know like my motorcycle mechanic, he offered some stuff for the silent auction. We've got a ton of people that are stepping up to make this thing happen, and it is happening tomorrow. I'm going to have Ken hop up here. I think he's smoking a pig right now, and not the kind that like to your lips smoking. Like it's like barbecue smoking, and it's going to be excellent. I think he's like a barbecue aficionado. Matter of fact, I'm going to text him to tell him to hop up here because I just want him to go over the menu that he's creating. Because in the past, I know Vic always barbecued. I don't know if Vic's still part of barbecuing or where we're at with that. But when Ken hits the barbecue, it's usually pretty serious. So I believe that, do you have his number? Oh, I thought you were texting him. I got it. Ken. So tomorrow's going to be a blast. I'm going to go over the flyer, and then I have some other information that I'm going to tell you guys about. No one go to St. Paul Harley tomorrow. For months, I was talking about going to St. Paul Harley, but that's not even part of the plan anymore. Here's what tomorrow looks like. We have a French toast breakfast and registration, which is a $5 donation for the registration, or for the French toast breakfast. This is at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., French toast breakfast and registrations. $5 donation for breakfast. At 10:45, there's a mandatory riders meeting. And all riders and passengers must be present, because we're going to go over safety stuff. We're going to go over like having a road guard out there for us. We're going to say a prayer or two for us. We're going to go over the route. Just go over some very essential information that if you're going to be on the ride, you need to be part of that discussion. And that is at 10:45. It's only like 10, 15 minutes. It's nothing major, but kickstands up at 10 a.m. Remember, guys and gals, this is at 2218 First Avenue South. That is where this is happening. The whole day is here at the club. This is a Ride for Recovery celebration. So at 2218 at 1 p.m., the festivities will kick off. We have food available for purchase. At 1:30 p.m., we have a speaker, which I'm going to be telling you guys all about who that speaker is. As a matter of fact, that speaker will be up here very shortly. And at 2 p.m., we have a silent auction and the drawings begin. At 2 p.m., we have a comedy hour.
We do?
Did you know that?
No, I did not know
Yes,
that.
we have a comedy hour coming up.
Ooh.
It's going to be a blast. I've heard this person and they're hilarious. No, it is. It's going to be good, and it's different. Like, come check out the comedy show. At 4 p.m., barbecue, and the music begins. We got Jim Stairs Band. You've heard of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're awesome. Jim Stairs Band will be here at 5 p.m. We have a speaker again. At 7 p.m., there's a silent auction, and then the drawing will end. At 9 p.m., we have a dance. The whole day is going to be fun, and I didn't go over everything. Like, we have a dunk tank. We've got, I think they're going to set up some, like, lawn darts or, like, horseshoes or bean bags, all that type of stuff. It's going to be a blast. You came here last year, right? You came here with my mom for a little bit?
Yep.
What was that like? I don't even remember. I was doing the show.
I came pretty early, and the riders were still out. So there wasn't very many people here.
Did they hit rain or something? It was like, ended up being like 5 or 6 hours that they were out, right?
Yeah, they were out a lot longer, but I think that people stopped at more places than I think that what they originally were going to stop at.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to be like an hour ride tomorrow.
No, I think maybe 2 hours. I think this.
Well, if they leave at, you're right. Well, 11
hours,
yeah, 11 o'clock they leave and get back at 1, or the festivities start at 1. But yeah,
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think last year they went to more places, but this year I think it was just supposed to be 2 hours. But I think the band had started when I left last year. I think everything had just started to begin.
Just started when you and my mom took off, right?
Yeah.
But you guys had been here for a while, and realistically, when it was that empty, you were able to check everything out quickly, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. So like, it's gonna be not night and day different from last year, but it's going to be quite a bit different from what last year looked like, just because we're doing a bunch of new stuff, and the ride isn't going to be as long as it was last year or in the past. So the dunk tank, I'm not 100% sure who's all doing it. I know like last year we had Curtis and Bob and
I think
Brad.
For sure, I believe it is Jordan and John and Paul.
Birch?
Yep.
He is going to do it. Good.
Yep.
Is Curtis?
Or maybe it is Curtis.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't talk. You know what? I missed Paul's call earlier today, and I should have called him back. I wonder, he would have told me. But either way, it's going to be a blast. It's always fun. It's a day of recovery fun. And I try to make this really clear. You don't have to be a bike rider to enjoy this day. The day starts with a bike ride, okay? But the fun starts at 1 o'clock when everyone gets back from the ride. It's just called the ride for recovery celebration.
fellowship though, and
Yeah.
food and
Yeah.
music and
One of my favorite parts is that silent auction. Like all the cool stuff. There's so many.
There's a lot of cool stuff last year.
Like weekend getaways and like
Yeah.
restaurants and mechanic stuff there and big pictures and
Yeah.
baskets and clothes and stuff like that. It's always pretty good time. So it's definitely something we're really not going to have that long of a show, and it's because we just got back. But let's see here. Jim Stairs is amazing. I hope everyone. And Jay Willis is in. Big brother, Jay. Sweet. That's tomorrow. And you know what? I think Curtis put something on Facebook about this, is that, like, if you show up and it's raining and you don't want to go, just hang out. We get the party started sooner. It's not that it can't start until 1. We'll start the party when there. One alcoholic with another alcoholic is all it takes for us to get down. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. And we're at 2218, and if it's raining, we can go inside. We have a whole mansion.
Yeah.
Like, this place is pretty awesome. If you haven't been here, it's 2218 First Avenue South, 2218 First Avenue South. And let's get this straight. The podcast will be going the whole time. I'm going to try to show up earlier like I've done in the past 2 years before the Ride for Recovery. What we'll do is have like a half hour, 45-minute show where I try to get as many riders to just come on and tell me what the ride means for them. And I will play it live, but I'll also replay it throughout the day. I've been shown how to do a lot of this stuff now, so I can replay some stuff. And then I'm also going to restart the podcast like at, 1 or 2 o'clock. We're going to have a guest host, Carl M. from North Carolina. We had him on a few weeks ago. He's in town again. I'm going to have him guest host for a while. I think that'll be cool for him to interview strangers. Or for him, it'll be you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't really know anyone from the community, but he's very outgoing and very outspoken. And we were having joking conversations about it, but I think he'll do good. So I'll let him run the show for like an hour, and then I'll take it over for an hour, and maybe we'll just grab someone random from the crowd. So anyone listening, if you have any ideas or any suggestions about how you want that to look, get after it. Let me know. Where you at? Oh, room 24. Room 24. Geez, I shouldn't do that. I'm just like you. I'm trying to respond to someone out loud on the air. Oh. We've got one of our speakers is on his way up to the room right now. Yeah. And yeah, Robbo. Okay. So I barely talked to you, Jess, but I'm going to talk to you and Rob. What I want to talk to you about, Jess, is how's your recovery going?
Good.
Good isn't, I asked you a one answer question, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Tell me about how your recovery is going.
It's good.
No, you can't. No.
Why?
Give me some details about how's your life looking today? Not good. You started in a sober house.
I did.
I'm not asking you to give me your whole story, but like, give us a quick synopsis of how it's looked.
It started off rocky.
Oh, you didn't come in winning?
No, I did not come in winning. It's been an uphill battle. Everything's been a learning lesson. Starting over, it was a good learning experience. I don't know.
I'll help you out.
Yes.
So, you got into recovery. You had one itty bitty little slip, which really set you back into a situation where, how long did you have sober before you had that one weekend, that one night?
Like 4 months, 5 months.
4 months, and then you a lapse in judgment.
Yeah.
That's what it was, one night. And then you started fresh. And then from there, you went to a new sober house? No, you stayed. They gave you a chance.
Yep, I stayed in the same sober house.
Okay.
Yep. And I stayed in treatment just a while longer. Yep.
Okay, so then from there, you stayed at that sober house for how long?
About 9 months.
I'll shoot you through your story real quick. So about 9 months. And then what'd you do?
I ended up getting a apartment with one of the girls from the sober house.
Okay. How did that go?
I'm
At
not.
the beginning, how did it go?
It was okay. It was good to have a roommate to split the rent with.
Okay.
It was trying at times, just differences in personalities.
Mm-hmm. See, I know some details, so it's hard for me. I didn't clear it with you ahead of time to share some of the dirty details or to ask you certain things. But let me say it in different ways. You were really tested in your recovery with having a roommate, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you made it through that. How did you get through that stuff? How did you make it through, with 1 year under your belt and you have a roommate that's doing some stuff that's making it really hard for you to stay on this path? How did you get through that?
Faith, for sure.
Faith.
Yeah, my faith. Going to church, my recovery, relying on the women I have in my, that I've met along the way in my meetings.
How did you meet Judy? Was it way back?
I met her at church.
At church. And
Yeah.
she's one of your closest friends today, right?
Yeah, we went to Haiti together on a mission trip.
Were you living on your own when you went? Were you already out
Yeah.
and living on your own?
Yeah.
So you were able to go to Haiti on a mission trip, basically helping the poor,
Yeah.
right? Like it wasn't some lavish South America getaway, was it?
No, not at all.
I've seen the pictures. Like I can't believe what you chose to do voluntarily
Yeah.
and paid for it.
And I paid for it. Yeah.
And that's all because of your faith, right?
Yes.
And
I would do it again. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, we own our. Oh my gosh.
We sponsor children.
No, we sponsor kids. Yeah, because of her and now being in my life, like she opened my eyes to some things, and like yeah, I'm able. We're fortunate enough to be able to give some money to some needy people. Like to us, it's nothing but 3 packs of cigarettes. Like, and that's a month. You don't smoke, but like just to put it into terminology, it's less than a tank of gas.
Right.
To help a kid or help them be able to help out a kid.
Anything like, getting outside yourself and doing service work and any.
Do you see that as a form of service work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Belly up, Bubby.
Hey.
So we're just ripping.
Weirdos doing it here, huh?
Hey, we're live. Be careful. Jess is getting into some dirty details.
What happened?
Nothing.
You got an iPhone?
I got an iPhone.
You want this case?
Yes.
There you go.
Sweet. Mine just, well, no, probably not. I probably don't.
Oh.
So, all right, Jess was talking about going to Haiti, and you don't want that. You just got back from the gym. Do you really want to eat chocolate?
No.
All right, put that shit away. Come on, get rid of this.
There you go. That was church.
Oh, church is just as good. So, nope, these are your headphones over here.
Oh.
Rob H. just got in the house. Sorry about the noises you're about to hear.
Hello.
All right, so Jess, then from Haiti and like living with a roommate, what happened there?
She went back out when I came home.
Okay.
So it was a struggle.
How long did you stay with her once you knew that she chose not to stay on the same path she was when you chose to move out together?
I had to stay in the apartment with her for a couple more months because she would not leave. So it took a couple months to get into my own apartment.
So this wasn't an easy situation in recovery for you.
No, so she continued to drink for quite a few more months.
And you were kind of stuck. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't really have any other options at the time, right?
Nope. So when you're in a lease with somebody, the only option I had was to transfer into another apartment because she wouldn't leave. So,
And you are just nearing the end of that situation because you ended up, I'm going to fast forward your story. You ended up getting your own apartment and you've been in there for almost, 3 years?
Yep.
And successfully paying all your bills, your rent, and driving a new car, and in one of the best relationships of your entire life that you've ever been in with the best man you've ever had in your life. Something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like been treated better than you've ever been treated. Shut up, Chuckles.
Yeah.
I said I can't hear you. You got something in your mouth, Tim. I don't.
Is it my ego?
No, it might be something else, but
All right.
it's okay.
Can you smell it on my breath? No, I'm joking. So in that 3 years, like you say, it's been an uphill battle and trying, but
But it's just getting.
was there any good? No,
No, there was
I
a
know.
lot of, but it was a lot of good things. It's just learning. And getting through situations and navigating new things and how to handle new situations.
How to handle situations that used to baffle you?
Right. And sober. And that's the best thing is sober. How to get through things the right way when I would take my ball and run home. Or I'd be like, I would deal with it different and I'd be like, oh, well, fuck this. Or, I would handle it differently. And now it's just, adulting or like, being more professional or, just overcoming things that I would deal with it differently.
What did your work life look like in that first year of recovery?
I worked overnights at Target. And because
you were a bartender your whole life for the most part. Like,
I
not for a majority of the times when it started getting, well, no, I guess not.
I did business. I did property management for,
that's right.
5-6 years. And then my drinking got a little out of control in my young 20s. And I was like, well, it makes more sense to work at the bars.
Right.
Yeah.
That is smarter when you're in that situation,
why not?
I guess. So life got life got better. Life's been getting better.
Yeah. The longer I've been sober, the better it's got.
And now you are able to make the choice to move on. And like at your job, you've been progressively moving up.
Yep.
I cut you right through there. So you're working overnights at Target, and what else were you doing? Weren't you working another job?
Yep, I worked part-time leasing.
Leasing at the place you're at now?
Yep.
So, and now you've moved to full-time, and you keep on moving up there, right?
Correct.
And now you're running multiple properties?
Correct.
Yeah. And I keep asking you one answer questions, so basically I just want the audience to understand, like, she's going through her recovery. And I know when I asked her, she's like, it's been an uphill struggle, or it's been a struggle, but
it's been super rewarding too.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's been good. And that's when I was like egoed up and like, yeah, but like you're in the best relationship ever type of deal. But you've been able to do, like, you've gone on vacations with friends, with me, like you've done things, and like you're able to make conscious choices and decisions through like proper methods now.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And like you're making a big change now. Like, you're moving with some family to help. Like, you're moving. That's even hard to say. Like, you're going. I don't want to say that's what you're doing, but like you're going to be kind of helping take care of your grandma, who you guys brought to Minnesota.
Correct.
Kind of, right? Yep. And you're going to be there to help
family and save money and pay some stuff off. Yep.
Yeah, like responsible stuff.
Yep.
And I like.
And it's awesome that I can do that and be responsible and step up to the plate,
Yeah, so how's your relationship life going? Like, where are you at in your relationship? Like, are you guys getting married? You guys thinking about moving in together? Like, what's the deal?
One day at a time.
Little shit.
One day at a time.
I don't know. I figured I'd put it on her because he's busting my hump about it. All right, well, what's your plans tomorrow? You said that you were going to be part of the Ride for Recovery?
Yes, I am working merchandise from 1 to 3.
1 to 3. You can come on down. If you've never met Jess C., you come on down and meet her. Buy some merchandise from her. She's a great person to get to know. If you know a woman in recovery who's looking for a sponsor, come on down and talk to her. She'll either be your sponsor or help guide you in the right path of finding one. Before we move on, and it's not like you're done talking, but anything you want to add or bring to the conversation before I move on to this knucklehead?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't got nothing.
Hey, shark breath. Hey, shark
Who
Who are you?
are you?
Yo, mammy.
I'm Rob. I'm an addict.
You don't want no fudge.
Fudge.
Fudge from Arkansas, baby.
Do you like fudge?
No, you better just cut him a little piece or he'll take the
Do you
whole
have a
thing.
knife?
Yes, I got a knife. You
Oh,
got
wait,
it.
I have knives.
Yeah, I put a knife
That's
in
such
your
an
purse.
awkward question to be asked. I don't think I've ever been asked that.
Do you have a knife?
No. Do you want some fudge?
Oh.
Oh, really?
I'd never had fudge. I think I did at some Christmas things, and I'm always like, ugh, till she was in my life. She's like, no, they have more than just like brown fudge.
Yeah, it's so
Dude,
good.
this is white chocolate raspberry fudge. It's
It's so good.
Have you tried this one? White chocolate raspberry
No, but I
lemon
know-
fudge. But I was in Arkansas and I got 2 pounds. That's 8 pieces. Rob, do you know Ken? Ken?
Yeah, I know
Rob,
Ken.
Rob, Ken.
Yeah, I know Ken.
Ken, Jess, Ken. All right, so Rob, I lied. We're not getting to you yet because I was bringing up a conversation.
Such a liar.
I lie. Tomorrow we have this thing called Ride for Recovery going on, and I've been advertising some things incorrectly. Now I'm being told some better information, like who's cooking and what's being cooked. And with that said, who are you and what's going on tomorrow with you?
I am Ken Alcoholic.
Hey, Ken, welcome to the show.
We're cooking a pig, 225 pounds.
It's that big?
Wow.
The thing was huge.
So it's here now cooking.
It's here now cooking, yep.
So what are you doing? Spicing it up? And
I did my normal stuff. I put that seasoning
Get
on
that,
it.
hang on a sec. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and move your mic right to your face. There we go. Now you're.
Yeah, I put some seasoning on it and some apple cider.
Yeah, don't give away your secrets. Did you put an apple in his mouth?
I tried it, but it spit it out.
It fell right out, didn't it?
It did.
225-pound pig's a big pig.
It is.
But no, do you know the yield off something like that? Because I've been to a pig roast and it's like the meat's gone so quick and it looked like maybe a 40, 50-pound pig. But out of 225 pounds, how much edible meat do you think will come from that, roughly? Over 100 pounds?
Over probably that. But I think we did a wedding last year that fed 250 people. And it was a 150-pound pig or 160.
Oh, so we've got a lot of food.
We're going to have a lot of food. Plus, they want me to smoke a couple turkeys, like 9 turkeys, and then...
Aren't we doing hamburgers and hot dogs, too?
I'm sure there'll be hamburgers and hot dogs as well.
Okay.
I'm not a part of that.
All right, so you're doing that special thing. All right.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome, dude.
And I might bring some ribs and do my famous rib stuff as well.
You need to.
And bring some chicken.
You need to. I think you need
I don't know
to.
how much I'm going to do. I kind of had to contribute a bunch to this last month.
Just, you know what, and this goes out to anyone listening to, is that we're still open for donations, and if you're willing to help out any way you can, come on down and offer your help. Can I ask the three, Rob, Jess, Ken, can I ask you guys a favor?
Yeah.
Talk. Talk. Come
Talk.
on.
Well,
I
I'm
can't,
kind
no,
of
I can't
excited.
eat that.
Oh, you can't?
No, I'm diabetic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
okay.
Where'd he go?
He disappeared on
Yeah.
us.
Talk. Okay.
Talk.
Yeah. My talks are inappropriate, so I'm going to bow out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, everybody.
Oh, how have you been, Rob?
I've been well.
Good.
I've been very well. How about yourself?
Good. Just busy with work.
Yeah.
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 It looks like you've been traveling.
I have been traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you been traveling to?
We were up north for my birthday, doing some fishing.
Did you guys just come back from Arkansas?
Tim was in Arkansas. I did not go.
Did you go to Arkansas, Rob?
No, I did not.
Have you ever been to Arkansas with him?
No, actually, I just found out last year that I have a cousin that lives down there, about 10 minutes from Eureka Springs.
Really?
Yeah, and obviously a couple of fellas have been going down there for a couple of years now, and I'm like, wow, that's 10 minutes. I'm gonna have to go next year.
Yeah.
So I think they're going again in September, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going somewhere in August. So I don't know if I'll go this year. Maybe. I mean, we'll see if I get a day off or something. But a lot of work to do. We got a lot of projects going on. Fun, but no, it's good. It's job security, whatever. We're busy, so.
Yeah. No, we're gonna go back in I think late September.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is there their fall weather like ours?
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. I think we were there last September, around late September. So, but it's really pretty when you go through the Ozarks
Yeah.
with the leaves changing.
That's got to be a fun trip,
Yeah.
especially sober too.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. You can remember it.
Well, yeah, right. That's usually the best part is 'cause you can remember everything now.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. So,
So, are you both coming to the event tomorrow?
Absolutely.
yep. I'm gonna help volunteer selling merchandise.
So we are still looking for volunteers, aren't we?
I think so. Yep. So if anybody's interested in volunteering, just come down whenever you're available. I believe, right?
Yep, I think so.
Yep. What time are you coming?
I think I'm gonna stay till about 11 tonight, and then somebody else is gonna watch the stuff overnight, and I'll be here about 6 a.m. and
Holy
start
buckets.
burning stuff all over again.
Yeah.
for sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
What time are you coming?
I don't know. I don't even know what time the ride starts. 10, isn't it?
I think it starts at 10, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because when I talked to Tim, he said 11. So
Oh,
But then,
I don't think 11. I thought it was 10. So
yeah.
then they said it's something about showers or
yeah,
thunderstorms.
if it's raining, I'm not going to go on the ride. No.
Yeah.
No.
I need a
Right.
new back tire. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Strong storms tomorrow too. I hope we make it through it. So
Right.
without getting wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it rained 2 years ago too, didn't it?
Today?
Yeah. No, 2 years ago at the ride.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I
you're
can't
the,
remember what I did yesterday. Let alone
Yeah.
yeah.
you're the speaker?
No.
You're not the speaker.
No, I just confirmed that tonight. No.
You found that out?
Yeah.
Do you
Oh.
know who the speaker is?
No.
Oh.
Well, let me check my messages as I was given a bunch of information. Who told you weren't the speaker?
I don't know. Some dude downstairs. I don't know who it was.
Oh, was he wearing a face mask?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. No, he helped me out with the show too. That's what I went to go do, look for my own apology. I owe him an amends. So tomorrow we have we have Harley gift cards, Kawasaki gift cards, Target. We have so many different gift cards for the raffle. And should I not say this
What?
stuff? No, it's the raffle. So come check this out. Here's some of the stuff that's going to be in the raffle tomorrow. We got books, like sober books and like recovery books, stuff like that. We got Harley Davidson, lots of Harley Davidson merch, tons of Harley Davidson merch. And these raffles are where you're going to come get them way cheaper. Come get one ticket, come get 100 tickets. We got Target and Green Harley. Oh, no, I don't want to give that away. Kawasaki, Cabela's, Crockpot, Global Sober Book, Leather Balm, Cabela's, Starbucks, Harley, Sober, Target, Kowalski's. There's so many on here. I'm not going to sit and read them all off, but we have so many different things for the raffle. Silent auction, I don't have a list of that stuff, but come check that out. We have a bunch of 50-50 raffles. We have a dunk tank. And one of the speakers, that comedian. The comedian is going to be also one of the speakers. So I didn't get a full list of the speakers, but apparently Rob's not speaking. That's why he's on tonight.
Yeah.
So he
I
can
guess
speak
not.
tonight. Matter of fact, there's something I wanted to talk. Oh, hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
So that's that on the food stuff, right?
Yep.
Not kicking you out. I just wanted before
No,
I move on.
I got to go back down anyway.
It smells so good that the smoke and the wind's blowing it towards.
I know. I smell.
No, I could smell it in the hall. You could start. Oh, it smells so good. So now what? You're gonna man it all night?
I'm not. No.
But there will be
It's,
someone-
There's going to be somebody here all night. Somebody
Yes.
babysitting it.
Yeah, because
But-
it needs to be doused in the apple cider. all
No,
that.
no. Not until tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll get more apple cider, more stuff. Yeah, but they just don't want nobody to screw around with it. So
Yeah, because my understanding, I thought it was you and 4 other people, but it must be someone else and 4 other people that'll be here all night.
yeah, there's gonna be some here all night.
Yeah.
No,
Plus, they're setting up the lot right now. I saw the dunk tanks out there. John and the other boys are out there setting some stuff up. No, that's gonna be awesome. So, but I appreciate you coming on and confirming what your side of the food is. Basically, it's gonna be awesome. How did they like the fudge? Rob, did you like the fudge?
Yes.
Okay, good. Ken, did it look good?
it looks beautiful, but I got yelled at this week, so I can't eat it. So
Speaking of that, wait 1 second. How are things going with you, Ken? Last time you were on the show, we were going through some stuff.
things, miraculously, God.
Yeah,
works
because
in
you
my-
said you were going to put it in God's hands.
Yeah,
Let's hear
yeah.
about it, please.
Well, he put it back in my hands, and everything worked
he
out
put
the
it
way-
back. I love it. Here you go. Have it back. That's
Yep.
great.
No, everything worked out.
Oh,
We're
that's
doing
great.
pretty well now, and everything's.
The way it should be, the way you feel it should be?
I don't know if the way I should be, the way God put it in my life, and that's where He's got it. So I have to accept it.
How
So
are you with the accepting it?
How am I? It's still in God's hands.
That's not what I asked. I didn't say whose hands is it.
Huh?
I
Wait a
said-
minute. So whose hands is it in?
It's not
First
mine.
it was in God's hands, then it was in His hands, and now it's in God's hands when you ask Him a serious question. Love
We
it.
don't
Awesome.
co-sign
You're in the
shit.
right place.
We don't co-sign
Yeah.
shit on this show.
No,
We call them out.
you gotta be evasive.
So listen,
Love it. Deflection.
how are you with the situation?
I'm doing presently good with it.
That's all. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's all we can ask.
The rest of my life, not so much, but that's okay.
What? Work's not going well?
it's
Your
just,
health? What?
You can't find any good workers anymore.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
can't.
Right.
Hogwash.
Hogwash.
I call hogwash.
Let me see. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the last month.
Ken, were you trying to help them or help your pockets?
I was trying to help them.
Hogwash.
I know.
Yeah, he says I know.
God took this.
Nobody's like you, Timmy.
I'm dog shit. I have to work for someone, so it's that easy. I'm not out here trying to help people.
But I'm doing good otherwise. I've been doing a lot of meetings.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of different meetings on the St. Paul side of town.
And St. Paul's got great meetings to offer. AA stuff
Went
or
on
both?
an NA camp out up at Serenity Shores last weekend.
On Thursday?
Yeah, I heard
it
that was a
Thursday?
hit. Yeah, I heard
that was
a
a
hit, yeah.
pretty good hit.
Was it over the weekend
It
or?
was the whole weekend.
Yeah.
They're gonna have it again there next year.
I guess
so
I'm going to a women's camp out first weekend, I think, in August.
Oh, you are, huh?
At Serenity Shores.
Oh, yeah, sorry, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we're doing something tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Oh, no, we're not.
Oh, we're not?
No, I'm sorry, we're not.
You have other plans?
Yeah, I'm going to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Sorry, I'm going with the girls.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all good. My ego don't bruise off that one.
No, but you can dress up as
I went
Liar.
to-
Hogwash.
I went to the first Taylor Swift show. Now it's her turn.
Yeah.
But I was in the
That's
front
like-
row.
Oh,
That's gonna
yeah.
cause troubles in my life.
What,
The
Taylor,
Taylor
Swift?
Swift and the Pride, because that's right by where I live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
speaking of that, everyone,
sure.
happy Pride Month and happy
Yeah,
Pride weekend.
absolutely.
They're having a shindig over here at Loring Park. Wait, it's called something else park now.
Is it? I don't.
Yeah, no.
Is
it's-
it?
Yeah.
Since
it's-
when?
Since I just heard it on the news. Remember,
Really?
my mom said,
Really?
she said, isn't that where Loring Park is? I said, yeah, it's just a different name because they're calling it a different name than Loring Park on the news.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
it's the same place, and they're having
Maybe you should Google it.
Shagoogle?
Shagoogle.
Shagiggle. Let's Shagoogle it. Okay, you get me on the show acting a freaking nut. Ken, I'm grateful for you. Thanks for being
so
who you
there's
are.
she's also having a party up in Nowthen on the 7th. Celebration of sobriety.
Who is?
Nelly.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
So it's a camp out. You guys can come up and camp out and
Text me the
fireworks.
info. Serious.
I'll get you.
When is it?
It's 7th, 8th, 9th,
Are we in town?
Is that a
July?
July.
We'll be back then, won't we?
I don't see nothing on Google about it.
I me neither. I just said.
Interesting.
I'll
Yeah.
get you when you guys come down. Just come see me. I'll get you the information.
Okay.
All right. Love y'all.
I love you, dude. Thank you.
Word.
Thank you
Later.
for tomorrow. What you're doing?
yes? Thank you.
Pig is delicious. Yes.
Charming, mainly residential. Loring Park is known for its large namesake green space, which has a lake and an extensive walk and cycle path. Upscale new American
Psychopath?
restaurants.
Yeah.
Cycles.
Psychopath.
Cozy cafes and independent shops that range from bicycle
Wow.
stores and bride boutiques.
Wow.
The area is also home to the early 1900s Basilica of St. Mary and the Minneapolis Convention Center. Funniest thing I
But it also says its name was changed to Loring Park in honor of the first superintendent of the new Minneapolis Park System, Charles Loring.
No, it was
That's what it-
no, it was a
that's
guy
what it
named
says right
Charles
here.
Loring.
Yeah, that's what it says right here. That's what I just said, man.
I wasn't sure. I was gonna say I
Yeah,
know that it was
yeah.
named after a dude.
You
named
just
Charles.
had to, yeah, I get it. I get it. I like
You know
that.
what I had to
Good
do.
twist.
Good
Like-
twist.
You got sound effects now. I love it.
She can't hear him.
Oh, really?
Did you hear that echo?
Now I can.
It's not going right now.
No.
No. Be
Uh
honest.
oh. We got issues then.
Be honest. Can you hear this?
Can you hear this?
Hear this?
No, but I heard it earlier when you had it in your phone.
Okay. Yeah, in my phone. I was gonna say, but you heard this.
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty
It's
cool,
weird.
man.
Only you and me can hear the echoes. That headphone and this headphone. Matter of
Interesting.
fact, here, put these on real quick, and I'll explain to you what's going on. The audience doesn't care. I think they've tuned out anyways. Just here, hold them for a sec. So, Jess, you know I love you.
I love you.
I love you. That echo. So the audience could hear it, Rob could hear it, and I could hear it. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it can be irritating to people, but I have fun. I mean, and if this isn't a salvage program, but Jess can hear this for sure. That's my audience. All right. So now, Rob, you thought
Yes.
you were speaking tomorrow.
Yeah.
Were you nervous about it?
No.
Why not? Do you get nervous when you have to speak or when you get to speak?
Sometimes, but more times than not, I just don't, because like, even if I bomb, like I just don't really care. You know what I mean? Like the fact of the
What do
matter
you
is,
mean? Wait. What do you mean if you bomb?
well, I mean, You know,
is it a you thing? If you feel like you're just not feeling what you're sharing, or is
no,
it a,
no. Like what I mean by that is like, let's say you go to some event, you know, and you're speaking and nobody cares about the speaker. You know what I
They're
mean?
over
And
there
there's
talking
people yapping. I mean, it's hard to get your message across if you're no, I'm all right, thanks. But it's hard to get your message across when people are talking, right? So anytime that happens, it really throws me off course in my mind. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, well, screw this, man, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
oh, you get like that,
well, yeah, because it's like, man, I'm not going to waste my time if can't nobody hear me. You know what I'm saying?
right?
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'll be willing to do stuff, but, you know, if it's a waste of time, man, time's the most valuable thing we got, man. And I don't want to spend it where it's not needed.
I've never heard him talk like that. I've never heard you talk about time like that. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
It's the truth. You can't pay for time, you can't buy time, and you can't reproduce time.
Right.
You can't.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that like I noticed that about getting to this age, that like I'm not young, I'm not old either,
No.
but like my parents are getting older, and that sucks. You know what I mean? Like that really sucks, and like and I can tell a lot when I'm talking with my dad that like he knows that he doesn't have a lot of time left, and that just breaks my heart. You know what I mean?
Can you tell like it scares him?
I mean, it would scare anybody. You'd think,
Is he religious? Is he
No.
got faith like you?
No, he used to back when he attended AA. Like he used to go to church and whatnot, but he doesn't anymore. He just kind of stays home, and I just think that it bums him out, and I think that like a lot of the things that happened in his childhood is all starting to come out now. Like all the things he suppressed for so long. Because that's not how that generation was. You know what I mean? Like
you don't
yeah,
show your emotions.
yeah. You ain't crying in front of nobody, man. You know what I mean?
You're a man.
And my mom just had lung cancer or some cancer took out of her lungs, so like that was another like that, and just like
scare.
yeah, most definitely. And watching Carl pass, man, like it really opened my eyes to like a little bit more of like, hey, we don't have a lot of time here, and I might as well like value the time that I do have, and like that's the thing about like recovery and like my active addiction is that like I'm so glad that like now I get to have my time. I own it. You know what I mean? And
You're
I get
responsible
and I
to
get
it.
to, I get to do with it what I wish. You know what I'm saying? And like in active addiction, I definitely didn't have that. I didn't really have any. Who had a concept of time? Ask any tweaker, be there in 5 minutes. Yeah, like 2 days later, and you got somebody else's car, and you're fixing the stereo and the fucking
And the stereo wasn't even broke?
Yeah, and the taillight's out now, and there's you know what I mean. The dome light won't go off. I had that one
for
before.
an oil change. Why are my tires and hood off?
Right, exactly.
No, I'm glad you kind of brought that up though, because
Oh, also, I wanted to say too that the cancer is only stage 1, so.
they got it. Or
Yep,
like-
they took it all out, and they actually had to remove less than they thought in the first place.
So that's a way good.
Way good.
Yeah, I have-
way good,
I
man.
haven't-
That put some joy in my heart, man. I was praying about that.
I haven't
so.
talked to you much. Like, we
haven't, yeah.
I've been out of town. Blah
Right.
blah blah. I didn't know that. When did this happen with your mom?
I just figured out that she had it about a couple of months ago.
Did they keep it from you or just?
No, they told me. Well, my dad, it took him probably 20 minutes to tell me, because he was, fighting back tears and whatnot, and rightfully so. I would be too. And it kind of, it definitely, it was a low blow, man. It hit me hard right in the chest,
You know what, Jess? You missed it. Jess shared some stuff about how she got through some situations. I think your guys' answers are going to be real similar. How were you getting through dealing with that type of stuff, those emotions, and that type of information?
I didn't really share it a lot.
But how did you get through it?
Well, of course, I
No.
prayed about it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
just-
Like,
how did you?
Well, at first I was, it was made me sad. You know what I mean? That's my mom. That was like my best friend when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like that was the only person that was like nice to me as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there were others, but like
But that's a solid.
in
no
general,
matter what.
yeah.
Always.
Mom always loved me. You know what I'm saying? And like she was always, the nurturer like mothers do. So it just kind of broke my heart.
Or like they're supposed to.
But it was weird because like I had this feeling of like calmness, like it's going to be okay. Initially,
why
before
did you think
before
that?
definitely my faith.
Is that
Definitely my faith. I mean, if you put me in that situation 3 years ago, it wouldn't have been like that. I'd be like,
Shit,
oh, my
2
mom's
years
gonna die.
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, my mom's gonna die. People suck. I hate people. You name it. Like, dude, it's
But
just
wait, I want to clear something for the audience. How long do you have in recovery successful? Clean?
7 years.
7 years. And
Yeah.
it's just in the last 18 months
Yeah.
that you're able to say this shit you're saying now about a faith.
Yeah,
having a faith.
absolutely.
And this for me is how it turned. when they say you need to have a power greater than yourself
Yeah.
to believe in for this shit to work. Like, in a way, of faith is how you got through this and be able to.
Absolutely. And well, the thing is, it's like, like my first 5 years, like I didn't believe in God, and I knew that there was a higher power, and like the higher power wasn't me, and I knew all those things, and like, and I prayed, but it's just, obviously as my friend, that it's just been different the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's like really just been like, it's over.
You had an experience.
It's
And
overcame my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everything has changed since then.
It's all about God now. You know what I mean? And if I can really, try to walk in that every day, which don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, I make mistakes, plenty of them.
You don't
I'm
wanna be
a
on a
sinner.
pedestal?
Definitely not. You know what I'm saying? But like, but it's different now. Like even less things bother me. Like when like for instance, like if somebody makes plans with me and cancels it, I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Like
You
when
know what I
you're
mean?
being told you're going to be the keynote speaker at a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
live
yeah,
kind
right,
of
yeah.
like-
And then I figured out that I'm not the night before, which the dude was like, "Hey, take my number down, and we're gonna have an event in such and such, and we need one." Then I was like, "Oh no, I don't need it that bad." You know what I'm saying?
Right. You didn't ask to speak.
No. I somebody asked me to, and I just said yes.
Yeah.
That was all that was. But a lot of things, like people and situations, like I just there's like a peace inside of me that like I just can't describe. You know what I mean? Like some like things that would usually set me off before, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And sometimes like when I get upset, like I just I pray about it and I just sometimes I have to put in like worship music, which I never thought I would ever do.
Or think that you'd be posting it online
Yeah.
and jamming that shit like it was
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah. No, that's something that like I a couple years ago you couldn't catch me doing that. And I used to think a certain type of way, and especially like just a lot of things like like when people talk about the enemy, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, you're just nuts. No, I talk like that now. You know what I mean? Like now it makes sense. But when I look at life like that, it's so much easier.
Paul B says this all the time. He's like, man, when I'm God conscious, life just is better.
Yeah.
Things are easier. I don't get mad at things that I always would have got mad at.
Right.
When I'm not God conscious, when I'm
Right.
when I'm not higher power conscious, realizing that life
Right.
gets shitty.
Right.
I get upset about things. I'm
Oh yeah.
short fused, irritated, don't know why I'm irritated.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I'm conveying what I've heard from other people. I'm not talking about me. But you just heard what you said. Like, don't people know that you're important and you're on a podcast? What are they calling you for?
I don't know. It's my bro.
Go ahead, answer it. Here, I'll meet you. You're good. Go ahead, take it. So Jess, how do you feel about what he was just saying? Hello. Did you know that about Rob?
Yes, I did know that.
How? Not many people. Oh, I guess he aired it out on here. But you know about his little experience. I know I was screaming from a mountaintop when it happened. I told you about it, right?
Yes, you did.
I kind of said it in a making fun type of way, right?
No, but I think it's awesome.
Oh, I muted. Here, you're good. Go ahead. What'd you say?
No, that was just the bro.
Everything okay?
Yeah, no, it was nothing big. He just said, just give me a call later.
You
But
should have
okay.
been like, bro, I'm on air. Check
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah,
I need the
podcast.
viewership.
I
Oh,
think
there you go.
I think bro's got a lot of anxiety, which I mean, what am I talking about? So do I. I do
Is he
too.
younger or older?
He's my older brother.
And you have a younger?
No,
You're the
I'm the
youngest.
youngest. Yeah,
Of one brother?
I got one brother and 3 sisters, but they're all halves. So,
Halves.
Yeah. And then what else was I just gonna say? Yeah. I wanted to say too that like it's not always that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right, no.
Sometimes I do, and I am crabby, but I'll tell you what, it's like it's few and far between, and like the things that come to me is it feels unnatural, or it's natural to how I am, but it's God filling me up with the Spirit.
It's going to
You
be
know
the
what I
new,
mean?
it eventually becomes your new normal. I mean,
Right.
We can only each speak from our own experience, or I can regurgitate what someone
people?
else has said.
People, like especially people, like the way that I view people is different now. You know what I mean? Like even if like before, like I'd really just not care for somebody, but now it's like when people talk and I listen to what they're saying, and and like I have more sympathy. Even like the things that used to get on my nerves don't get on my nerves anymore. I'm just like, all right, well, you know what I mean? And I think of people and like the things that people do, and it's like, all right, well, why do they do that? It's not just like, hey, it's me, because I take it personal and I want to get mad about it. It's just it's like, okay, well, why do they do that? And I start to think of like, well, this could be the reason. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, it could be off. But if I have some compassion and if I have some sympathy for people
grace.
and some understanding, yeah, it's all right. I'm like, hey, like I'm not perfect.
No.
Like I come across as somebody that you probably shouldn't talk to, more times than not.
More so in the past than now.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, when Rick was on here and explaining this, was like, if I want to live in harmony and peace, like, and happiness, I need to show grace. I need to
Absolutely.
show love. I can't live in harmony without love.
For sure.
And it's some, and it,
Right.
to me, it's something I would have made fun of. I'd have made fun of me for talking.
Right.
Like that.
You're right.
Like I
you're
think
right.
about Mr. Deeds when they're at the end and they're talking about, oh, what did you want to be when you were a kid? And he's like, oh, I wanted to own a bubblegum shop or something. He's like, your 7-year-old self would kick your own ass. Like
Right.
my old child would be making fun of me right now. Type
Yeah.
shit for the things I think, feel, and believe.
Right.
But my life is better.
So we were talking about that on the job site, construction job site, sitting on a bucket, and this my coworker was talking about how he was gardening, and I was like, man, don't you think it's kind of funny, man, that like the older you get, man, like like you kind of soften up a bit. And I was like, I was telling him, I was like, I drink freaking tea for Christ's sake, like I drink tea, you know what I mean? Like, and I love jogging. What? You know what I mean? Like, dude, you're a sissy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like,
I hear you.
but it's those things that like keeps me open minded to everything, like it doesn't matter now. It's like I like hot tea, man.
It's good
Yeah.
for you too.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
That's why I love it. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
good for you and it feels
But-
good. You know what I'm
and
saying?
gardening is so peaceful.
I've never gardened
No.
before,
Oh.
but
Have you had
It's-
some chamomile tea?
what?
It's relaxing.
Never.
Chamomile tea, bro.
No, never had it.
Wake up, smell
It's-
the tea.
Oh,
But there's so many different, dude. There's thousands of different teas with different ailments and different purposes.
some of it's like good for you though.
Right.
yeah.
And I've been taking vitamins recently too.
Yeah,
I've been on
it's-
some vitamins.
Yeah,
but
it's awesome.
I work for a guy who's a vitamin nut, and he's like always.
Yeah.
Tea is amazing. Lady Grey and Earl Grey.
I drink that.
Lady Grey and Earl Grey.
Earl Grey, yeah.
Yeah, I
See
do.
Lee.
I drink a lot of green tea.
Yeah.
I like Grey. She put me onto some teas, but I've always been kind of hip to it.
So wait, Earl Grey that's a famous lawyer too, isn't it?
I don't know.
What's
Hey,
that lawyer?
Jalissa,
What's
give us
that
some
lawyer's
info.
name? What's that lawyer's name? That's last name is Gray. He's really like, because every time I was in county, man, somebody like anybody that was gonna beat their case, dude, they had this lawyer. I thought it was Earl Grey.
I don't know.
I thought that's what the name was. Like, yeah, like he was a real high profile attorney.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he's like top 10 in the United States or something. Like he's just that good. He's expensive too.
Oh.
Twinging of London Classic Lady Grey tea contains citrus fruit flavors, and I'm not finding. I think you're talking about Earl Grey. I've heard the name.
Yeah.
I think it's Earl Grey, but I don't think he has nothing to do with tea.
No, I know that,
Oh.
but I'm just saying that like that's funny that it's the same name.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
So, all right, tea. Lapsu Sung. I love saying it, and I've tried it once, and it's so good. Lapsu Sung tea. Lawyer Gray. I don't know what I'm even looking for. What was it? Earl Grey. Oh, that's what she's. Yeah, Earl.
Yeah.
EARL.
Earl Grey. He's a defense lawyer
Yeah.
in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the best in like the US, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I was in county and this dude had a homicide.
If you had Gray, you were.
Yeah, you're beating it,
You're
basically.
beating it.
But you had money if you had Earl Grey.
Right.
Like
Minnesota-
dude had a homicide charge and he got a pretty good deal.
Minnesota criminal defense lawyer Earl Grey represents clients in a wide range of criminal defense matters, white collar crimes, DWI, DUIs, assaults, blah, 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 blah. You know what's awesome? I don't have to worry about that shit no more.
No, not at all.
I don't care
No.
about who's the best lawyer,
No.
where to get a lawyer.
Right.
I don't do things. But you want to know something funny? It is, LOL. So before you came in, when the show started, I couldn't log on.
Yeah.
I went 10 minutes talking about this.
Yeah.
I couldn't log on. It said password for Facebook was changed 2 months ago.
Ooh, yeah.
But we got here at what, 10-2?
Yep.
I'm always here an hour and a half early. Always. And instantly, I'm like, fuck them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to get salty at
Yeah,
2018. I was.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her, I'm like, this is a wrap. I'm done here. I'm done. I'm taking this show, and they're going to get hurt. Yeah, ba, 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 ba. It made me kind of feel like the original Ride for Recovery situation. Because I don't know exactly what happened. I just know from what I was told was like they didn't have enough volunteers, so they canceled it.
I heard some other things. I heard something
everyone
else
heard
too,
other
but
things,
yeah.
and we
Hey,
heard,
that's just how it goes.
We heard things like people taking
But
their
now it's
ball.
on.
It's going.
Now
Oh yeah,
it's
it's
on.
going to be a blast. So all within a 5-minute deal of dude came in. He was like, I don't know anything about what goes on with the podcast, this or that. And I'm like, whatever. What's the passwords? Like what? I don't even know what I said. Put it that way. I was
Just mad.
I was blacked out mad.
Ready to punch him up.
But he came in here, dude with the face mask.
Yeah.
And he was like, He was just being matter of fact, telling me what it was, and had a sheet with the passwords put in. It worked, and he said something like, "Tim, I don't know what was going on, but you seem a little irritated." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I am irritated," and I was like, "Hey, how's it going, Mama?" And I was like, "Come belly up. I got some questions for you." And I literally I was like, "You will never have to worry about this again."
Yeah.
And she knew what I was talking about. I was like, "This will be the last show you'll ever hear me on. Don't ever worry about it."
Yeah. You're so upset, yeah.
Within 3 minutes.
Sounds like you need some Jesus, Tim.
Within 3 minutes,
Yeah.
after, on air, within 3 minutes, I'm like, I fucked up. That was on me.
Yeah.
It wasn't on. If she wasn't in here, I don't know what would have probably happened. I would have probably walked away like pissed off, blaming them.
Took your ball and went home.
I was
Yeah.
That's where I was at.
Where's that
it?
ball at? Oh, there it is.
If
You
it
found
wasn't,
it.
if it wasn't for Jess saying, "Yeah, you were being an asshole, Tim,"
Yeah.
I was already like,
You were definitely an
they
anus.
wronged me,
Yeah.
this and that. They don't deserve me.
How dare they? Yeah.
And that was me not being. I don't know, but see,
Sounds like somebody needs some Jesus
I
in
have
their
people.
life.
I have people in my life
Right.
that won't co-sign some shit.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
it's
maybe
my
we
girl
should go
who
to-
should have been like, nah, fuck them, Tim. No, she was like, you were wrong.
Oh, see, listen to you right now. You're like my girl that should have been.
No,
see,
that's-
listen to you.
that's the
no,
old
that's what
thinking.
you just said. Yeah.
It is. That's
I
what
know.
was
No, I
thinking.
get
Like-
it. I get it.
Like my girl should have
Yeah.
had my back no matter what. And say,
Expectations.
They were wrong.
Yeah.
No, I have people in my life
That is an
don't-
expectation.
Yeah, but I have people in my life that don't co-sign my shit.
Absolutely.
She
Hey.
said, no, you were wrong, Tim.
Hey Tim, maybe we should go to church on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you're the one dragging me to church.
That was
Can
low, huh?
you hear?
I can hear. I can.
Yeah.
She know I love her.
Why? Because you don't ever let me drive.
I mean, I'm not gonna bring up you being a blonde. I'm not gonna bring up you being a woman. I'm gonna say
you
I
lost
love
some
it when you
viewers for
drive.
that one.
Hey.
So who do we have on the show?
Nellie.
Nellie, welcome. Nellie, this is Jess and this is Rob.
Hi, Jess. Hi, Rob.
Hello there.
Uncomfortably get
Hello
close to
there.
your mic. As uncomfortable, move your seat on up. So, yeah, I just
Ridiculous
had the
close,
best.
right?
Yes,
All
like
right,
you
all
see
right.
me.
Hi, guys.
I'm over here just like massaging my mic with my lips when I
Yes.
talk. Don't be weird. So, who are you?
Who am I? I'm Nellie. I'm an alcoholic. I'm here doing some service work and attending some meetings, and now I'm hanging out with you guys.
How's life going for you?
My life is beautiful. My
Are-
life is good.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
I am going to be here tomorrow all day. Yeah.
What do you do? What are you doing here tomorrow? Are you just enjoying the festivities? Or are you
Well,
helping?
initially I had planned to go on the ride, but
Okay.
my parents decided not to come down, so because they won't make it home before the rain starts.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm going to help Ken cook the pig and just hang out for the day and do a fellowship.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. And I've been bugging Ken about you. Not you, but your guys' whole thing. And like Ken's open about stuff. He
Yeah.
shares like I'm hurting and whatever.
Oh no,
But
we're going back a month ago, huh?
I don't know. I think I had him whenever I had him on or something. But I also asked tonight, like, how are things going? And he was like, awesome. God took the wheel and things are going great.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
But,
I know,
well,
yeah.
no, he said he gave me the wheel back, then he took the wheel.
Yeah, then he gave it back, yeah.
But he was happy. So, are you okay sharing just a little bit of your story? Like,
Sure.
5 minutes or whatever. Tell us about yourself.
Sounds great. So this is my first experience in recovery. I was a long-term hardcore drug addict and alcoholic. And when I wasn't doing drugs and alcohol, I was doing anything else that could feed my ego.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you very much. I am almost, if by God's grace, make it a little bit longer, we'll have 17 months sober.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh, wait.
Thank you. This program is extremely new to me. I didn't know anything about recovery. I had some white-knuckled periods of sobriety in my life, but it wasn't until, I kind of had these major criminal consequences that told me you can choose prison or treatment. And I was like, yeah. And then they're like, no, for real. Okay, go back a little bit. Early growing up, I had a lot of attention-seeking kind of attributes, blah, blah, blah. But I really didn't do drugs or drink until after high school. I had my whole life planned out. I thought I had everything lined up for exactly what I needed. And then I started drinking. And
stream. Boom. Ba-boom. Do you have a show going on your phone? All right. Can you hear it? Come on. Let's refresh. Refresh. I'm fresh to death. Hello? There we go. We're live. Sorry, everybody, about that cutting out. And thank you, audience, for letting me know that we lost sound. Jolissa, Mom, and Papa. Turn that off. It'll echo forever now. All right. Hang on. I'm going to mute everybody. All right. We're back. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. So you were telling us, like, you're about to get this check, and you made this choice, like, I'm going to just stop. And then what followed was a whole bunch of your addict behaviors popping up. Okay, keep going.
You know, this is when I can now look back and realize that I was definitely an addict. I mean, I switched.
But at the time, you had no clue.
I had no clue. Okay. I just, I didn't have anybody else in my family or in my life that was, well, there was definitely addicts and alcoholics, but nobody that really sought recovery from it. So I just thought I was making all these morally corrupt choices. And I got this check, and I thought, I'd like to hang on to this money. And so I quit. I had a boyfriend at the time and a roommate, and the three of us quit. And, by the grace of God, that worked for us for several years. But now insert a whole bunch of other addictions, shopping and food and obsessive compulsive behaviors and just a whole bunch of mental health issues. And although my life got progressively better, it could have been even better, I now realize. So I kind of went forward in life. I got married, I bought the house, had the American dream thing going, and then fast forward a few years and I got sick. And so the doctor started prescribing pain pills. Pain pills. Again, not knowing that I was an addict or even what that meant.
Yummy.
Right? Yummy. I can definitely
How long
remember.
ago was this?
This was about 6 years ago now.
Okay.
About 6 years ago. So the whole pain pill addiction thing kicked in pretty quickly.
So you were, and I do interrupt, sorry, so
No,
sorry
please
about
do.
that. You were, up until this point, though, you kept going to the doctor, like, responsibly, like, look, something's not right. I'm eating, I'm doing this. Like, these things you now can recognize as addict behaviors, like, you were going to seek help for it from a doctor.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
I had a very regular psychiatrist, psychologist, family doctor, and nobody really pointed anything out, that was abnormal to them.
Okay.
So they just kept feeding me the mental health pills. Eventually, I had bariatric surgery to control my diabetes that I had gained from obsessive eating. That
worked out for you?
It helped.
Sure looks like it.
Definitely worked out for me.
How do you politely say that to someone like, you didn't look fat, you didn't look... No,
I look good.
I never knew that about you. Like I said, we never had a conversation, which I didn't know until you walked in that you'd be on the show, but I almost prefer it that way. That I'm glad we haven't spoke, because then I can meet you this way and the audience can hear about some success in recovery. So you had no clue about recovery.
Nope.
And no clue about these addict behaviors. And then doctors put you on some pain meds, and now you got this new addiction.
Now I got this new addiction.
And a pocket full of money.
Yep, and a pocket full of money. That's right. So, I very quickly it went from a need to a want with the pain pills. And I got scared.
Wait, want to a need?
From a need to a want.
Yeah,
like I
she
needed them at
needed the
first.
pain pills, and
Like
then
they were
she
prescribed.
wanted
I
the
actually
pills.
needed them. I had some chronic pain
Oh,
conditions
okay.
I
And
was
then
dealing
the
with.
want turned back into a need, though.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm
very,
saying?
very true.
That's why I got confused, because I just thought that maybe it said it wrong. But
A
I
need
get
to a
what you
want
mean.
to a need. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so, I shoulda, woulda, coulda
Yeah.
thought many times about how I was going to approach my doctor about it, but then they were going to take them away, right?
Yeah.
So
I went through that same thing in the end. Yeah.
I got to this place where I was like, maybe if I switch back to meth. Right?
Yeah. Brilliant idea.
That was like, I'm
Absolutely.
Only gonna
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I started quitting drinking was heroin. Brilliant idea.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Rick Bowman, he shared this at SNL, and he always does. He's like, if you ever want to get off alcohol, if you ever want to stop doing opiates, get crystal meth.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be packed because pretty soon I dropped everything else and it was just straight meth,
Yeah.
you know?
You didn't even need the surgery. Shit. You found meth.
Oh, exactly.
So,
exactly.
okay, meth.
So meth comes
Methamphetamine.
back into the life, and I'm thinking I can drop it again like I did the first time, right?
Oh, yeah, our brains are funny like that.
Oh, this is where I insert the learning lesson of the progression of this disease.
Absolutely.
Like it was like I hadn't even skipped a beat. And this time round, I thought I'd go,
Picked up right where you
down
left
the
off.
criminal lifestyle. Let's start selling drugs. Let's start
Brilliant.
surrounding ourselves with a lot of bad people.
Oh, yeah.
And then my husband found out, and that didn't go good. Time 2, he caught me. he decided to join me. So now we can insert some codependency, right? And that led to a very bad spiraling effect of consequences. Not only did our marriage get destroyed, sold our house, gambled all the money away, arrested 13 times. And so I'd say my heaviest using years were in the last 4 years prior to coming into recovery. In those 4 years, I racked up a stack of consequences that I'm just like, wow. It seems almost like a movie when I look back on it now.
Yeah.
So then it got to be a point where they just told me, listen, you're going to go to prison. You are going to go to prison if you don't go to treatment.
So you didn't have no, I mean, this last 4 years, it sounds like it, but you've never had no serious consequences from your choices, like serious. You weren't ever locked up prior to?
No, not prior to using drugs.
Minus whatever, a weekend here or there, but like.
Nope.
All
nope.
right. So this were your first serious consequence.
No, I would say my first serious consequence was the loss of my marriage. That's the one that gave me the fuck it's every day. I'm going to get high every single day.
Right.
Once that started to lose everything good that we had, I just didn't care anymore. I was like straight fuck it's person. If I wasn't in jail, I was high every day.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
you're sitting around a table, people can understand and relate.
Yeah.
Right,
And
exactly.
One thing I always like to say is that, like, when I think about active addiction and like going back out, is that nothing changes out there except the consequences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've never said it that way, or even, I guess, haven't thought long. I don't let myself get to that point of thinking it, I guess.
No, I mean, like, it's just.
No, I know. We've
Because
had conversations.
Yeah,
I get it.
Everybody think about, at least I think about using quite a bit, but I just know that it would never.
I don't know if
You
it's
know?
think about using for me, or it's just thinking
I'll
about,
fantasize.
there's some fantasizing, I
But it's
think.
all a lie. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Oh,
such
yeah.
a lie,
Oh,
dude.
right.
In my head, dude. You
I still
know
tell
what it
myself
actually
shit like
is?
that,
Yeah.
too. I could easily, dude, with all this tools I got, I
Yeah,
could shoot
baby.
dope on
Yeah.
just Friday.
Yeah.
Just Fridays after the show, just.
Because I know so many recreational heroin users.
Yeah.
So many.
Exactly, right?
Sarcasm
Right?
out there in
Brilliant.
Radio
Just
Land.
the weekend
Oh my
meth
God.
junkies.
Yeah. Just a 7-day weekend.
We're Radio Land, we're joking. Like, there is no one I've ever met that could recreationally use heroin. Like,
No. Fact.
just doesn't happen. That I've met yet.
Yeah.
I haven't. And whatever. So,
So consequence, and I finally just I had to. I mean, enough time in jail. I
Yeah.
decided that prison wasn't really where I wanted to go. Treatment was probably my better option. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but I have a pretty badass sober date. It's 2/2/22.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
The day that the Berkwood bus picked me up and took me away. And, that first week is a major blur, but eventually I got to where I started paying attention. And then they started teaching me a whole lot about what the hell was going on with me. I'm like, oh, so I'm not just a morally fucked up person. That's
Right.
good to know.
Right.
And so once I started to learn a little bit about the disease and what my options for a solution were, and it was there that I was introduced to AA. And, I decided to start doing what was suggested. I saw happy people. I wasn't happy. And so I just started to do what those happier people did. And I've had a lot of great success.
So I got kind of a goofy question for you.
Do it.
And
What?
So, how I word this, and I don't want yes or no because I somehow got to work on making sure it's not a yes or no question. Looking at it now, the person you were prior to, let's say, before there was these addict behaviors, through all that shit, and then you say you don't remember that first week when you got clean. Was it once you were clean, let's say week 2 and 3,
Yeah.
was it during that, what happened during that time where you realized, like, okay, I want to learn about this? What was the mindset that you were going through in those first weeks of clarity about how you wanted your life to look?
Kind of the turning point to go again from the need to be there to want to be there happened about my second AA meeting, honestly. That's when I got, exposure to more and more people with longer recovery than the people that were in treatment with me.
Yeah.
Before I went to treatment, I didn't know anybody that had done it.
Right.
Everybody I knew was still struggling out there and running from the cops and avoiding all their consequences as best as they could. So I was one of the first from kind of my group of
Right.
people that was forced to get sober. And so I didn't have anybody to give me any advice or what to expect or to look up to, none of that. So I started looking up to people in the AA rooms. And that's kind of when it changed for me.
So it was a lot of seeing people happy.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. And
Weirdos, right?
right? Like,
Weirdos.
what?
They lying,
No,
man.
don't
They're
get me
lying.
wrong. I had moments,
Yeah.
or at least we try to trick ourselves and say we had moments of fun
Yeah.
and getting high and using and living that lifestyle. But I had such a mindset of hate. I hated myself for being the first one to get high and destroying my marriage.
Right.
I hated for the destruction of my family. I hated that I lost my house, or not lost my house, but sold my house and then gambled all that money away. I had a lot of self-hate.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that there was an easier way to live, and that this was possible, when I first went in, I didn't know if I was really going to, hang on to this. I knew
Right.
that consequence-wise, I had no choice for
All
several
right, well,
years ahead.
I always do this to anyone who comes on the show, and don't think it's a personal attack, but how I say this, I got to get better at it. You did have a choice.
Oh.
You could have chosen to say,
Oh, yeah.
fuck
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
and go and run until you got caught. Like, you did choose to do this.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, and I get it. What you're saying is like, I had no choice. I had to do this. I do understand that. But a lot of people that listen aren't in recovery.
Right,
So I
okay.
always try to put that out there.
Yeah,
and
we
let people
definitely
know,
have a
like,
choice.
We have that choice until that door of the cell
Hey,
locks.
until
or
that first
coffin.
one, then we don't have a choice.
Yeah, but yeah,
know.
that's even going
You're like,
deeper.
that's different,
Now I gotta
man. Come on,
explain
man.
it to the audience, or the audience. But
Correction, Tim.
what I'm getting at is like until that jail cell door closes behind us or that coffin lid closes on
Correct.
top of us, we've got a choice. And ultimately, like, give yourself some credit. You chose to do this.
Yes, I did.
Like,
Yes. Believe me, I
don't-
sat there
yeah.
that morning on 2/2/22 going,
Yep.
is this really, what
Yeah.
I want? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Ultimately, that is what I want. And
I remember
hindsight,
that.
now I can
Yep.
look back and say that God was definitely holding my hand at that point, too. Had a bigger, better plan for me. And it's been a good one. So I have zero regrets about my past now.
Right.
All right, I'm going to stop
Yeah,
you there
stop
because
me.
I know the reason why is I have a question I want to run the table.
Okay.
And I'll
Run
start.
it.
I'm going to start with you, Jess.
Yeah.
Our past. We can't erase our past. We all know that. And we all got, if we're in these rooms, usually we've got a past. Can you honestly say, no, I'm asking it wrong, the way they asked it. Is there anything about your past that still affects you today that you struggle getting over? And if so, what is it?
No. No.
No, just a no. Damn it, I didn't ask it in a way that you could. Okay, so throughout your whole recovery, did any of your past affect you about the choices and decisions you make? And if so, how did you get through those? And I think you shared earlier how you've been able to. But
Yes, I mean, like losing time with family, making poor choices there. But I mean, I've been making like a living amends with that, and showing up.
So, like, was there points in your recovery early that you sat and beat yourself up over those things that you did?
Of course. Yep.
And then what? Just how did you realize? I'm trying to see how I'm going to form this question for her. How did you get through that? Like
Being present, being a better person, being a better friend, a better sister,
better
being a-
auntie,
yeah,
better
aunt.
girlfriend.
Yep.
You were
be-
always a great girlfriend, but
just being more present.
So the reason I think this got posed was, and anyone listening, like, I'll put my number up. You can message me directly, and if you're on YouTube, for some reason I'm not getting the questions. So if you're able to get on Facebook, you know what? I do have a YouTube question on here, so no, we're good. But the Facebook seems to be the most current questions I get. So the reason I think this got brought up is like you were talking about, the house and the marriage and these things that it sounds like you're busted up over. Like, are these things that do they still affect you? Like,
So
it sounds like it.
No, actually, I live by the big book. I do. I have a sponsor. I've had a few great sponsors. I just completed a second 4-step specifically focused on my marriage so that when the divorce became final, I didn't have any more resentments about it. I didn't have any more self-hate about it. What the program teaches us is that we have a way to live life, not just stay sober. I have really found great joy in practicing those principles and using those steps for every problem I have faced in life. So, for me, before I was even out of inpatient, I had a sponsor. I started working the steps. So by the time I got to sober living and was doing outpatient, I had already started to really get a good attack at all those defects and those resentments and those fears and all that anger that I had built up. And I just kept doing what everybody kept telling me would work.
I don't mean to say intelligent because that sounds like it's goofy, but I'm going to use it. You were intelligent enough that you were able to see how these steps would work and you were applying them right away.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had great sponsors to guide me. So that's definitely an asset. But then, even so, like I said, I just did that first step. I just finalized my divorce last week. And
hey, you know what?
Thank you. Moving on,
Awesome.
there are some situations that recovery can't fix, and I had to accept that. Sadly, my husband is still in active use.
Okay,
And
that's
so,
not your concern.
it's not
I'm
my
sorry.
concern.
Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right, because the one thing I know from my own experience is that no one can force us. No one can make us. And the consequences don't really matter until they do, right? And for every person, that's different. The level of consequences is different to make somebody get to that surrender point. Because let's be honest, pain causes change. So how much pain are we willing to suffer with until we're ready for some sort of change? Mine might be a little bit less of a threshold than some other people. I couldn't do that no more. I knew there had to be a better life to live. So for me, that's what I do. When I have problems, I call my sponsor. And for me now, my greatest source of kind of outlet from issues is 12-step. I sponsor many women in this program, and there's nothing greater than getting out of my own head and focusing not on myself and my own problems when I'm focusing on their problems. Plus,
So
it keeps
service work.
Service work is huge. Whether you do it as a sponsor or whether you do it in your meetings or out in your community, it's amazing how much giving and doing for others can make us feel great.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I remember when I was in active use, I was like, why is it that people have forgotten that you help your neighbor? And I couldn't quite understand why everybody was so greedy and so
That's
self-centered.
That's
Well,
that
you know,
life. You know
I
that.
mean, I had my own level of it too, but I'm finally happy to just be living in a life where we actually care about each other. There's actual love and compassion, and people, really mean something in your life.
Yeah.
And so, this is what because I also work in recovery, yes. So what I tell my clients all the time is that I promise you this: if this wasn't better, myself and the millions of other people that do it would not be sitting here doing this.
100%.
I promise you that. If this
100%.
wasn't better, if that life was better, we'd be there.
Right.
Fact.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I said intelligent enough, I wasn't. It took
Nope.
me, I'm going on past 5 years, and there's still things that I'm still working on how to apply it. And it's just, I'm not saying it wasn't intelligent enough, but it's just things that it takes time for some people. Rob,
Yo.
your past, how did it affect you in recovery, and how'd you get over it?
Just like that.
That's his. That's the famous Rob Bart noise on air.
That's why I never asked him to come on.
I stopped asking him to come on a year ago because he'd always go.
Yeah. Okay. What was the question again? My past. What
How
about
did
it,
how
man?
did your past affect you while in recovery, and how did you overcome it?
Well, yeah, that's kind of a simple one.
Okay.
Essentially, like, so when we get to the program, right? Like, what do? We work the 12 steps. Pretty simple, just like that. That's what happened.
Fact.
I don't know. No, I mean, there's. I wouldn't necessarily know.
That answer slide.
I wouldn't necessarily,
Was there shit from your past that affected you while in recovery?
early on, especially.
Yeah.
And early on, especially, I had to go to jail for a little bit.
Yep.
I ran into some people that owed me some money, and I wanted to smash them, and I didn't, because I just got done doing step work. That was great.
These are the type of answers.
Yeah. And then I ran into the lawyer that was on my case at an NA meeting, which that was also a trip because I felt that like he didn't represent me properly and blah 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 blah. The fact of the matter is I was guilty, but
It's a bug.
Yeah, it's a bug. They hit me in the face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind of bug is that?
I have a beetle.
How you gonna ask me a question and do some shit like that, bro?
Here,
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not accepting that answer. Oh, look, a bug. This dude.
Smacked me
I
in the
love
face
it.
while you were talking. I thought you threw it at me.
I love it, man. Where was
But
that?
listen,
What was I
you were
saying?
talking about.
Oh yeah. So
Lawyer.
anyways, like so when I got my DUI, it was like
I didn't know this story about the lawyer.
yeah. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them in early recovery. A whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of stuff that was just like, oh motherfucker. You know what I mean? Again.
You were carrying shit.
And I was having to work through these resentments and deal with these character defects. You know what I'm saying? And like so when I got my last DUI, right? Like they took my blood without my consent because I was
too fucked up.
I was on heroin, benzos, and methamphetamines.
Yeah.
You know, so like I don't recall them even asking me much, but I don't recall much of anything, right? So so it was Ramsey County, right? So they pushed my court date because there was a guy in Egan that got a DUI in a boat. And he was going to push it up to the Supreme Court, right? So they pushed my court date before they had the ruling on that. So because obviously if it would have got, if it would have passed in the Supreme Court, then I could have beat my case, which I felt that it was messed up. And then my lawyer was just like, oh, well, he kind of copped his way out, Well, because the thing was he works for the state. What do you think he's going to do? You know what I'm saying? And of course, back then, like, just like we were talking about, I don't got to worry about that now. But like I had this realization that like, hey, I'm guilty. You know what I mean? Like I did it regardless of what I don't feel is right and blah, 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 blah. The fact of the matter is that situation saved my life. You know what I mean? And I didn't see that 6 months. No, trust me, I didn't see it when I saw this dude at a meeting, man. You know what I mean? I was hot, man. I was just burning up on the inside,
I'm so
right?
glad when people come on and share that piece, though, that you just said before that. It's like, that situation saved my life.
Criminal consequences saved my life.
Well, like you were saying, how like you had them thoughts of like saying something. Like I remember my last like 6 months of use, like I wanted to say something to my job and like get help like the normal way that like you know what I'm saying? I don't know what normal is, but you know what I mean. But like some people just like, oh, I've had enough, and like but like the thing is that like we get stopped. You know what I mean? Like some people just wake up one day and they say they've had enough. Well, my hat's off to you.
Yeah. Me too.
I gotta fall down, bump my head, fall down, bump my head, fall down, bump my head. But I can remember that, and I can also remember that feeling that day that I went to treatment. I remember exactly what I was doing. I remember where I was sitting, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't have to do this anymore. You know what I mean? And like this weight just like internally just came up out of me, And little did I know what was ahead of me, though. You know what I'm saying? I've learned so much about myself in recovery. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't know I had to learn that much, man. Hey, if I knew how hard it was gonna be, I probably wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But if you knew how great it was going to be.
Oh man,
Yeah,
if
right?
I really sit back and look at my life, anything that I've ever really desired, I've gotten. And if I haven't, that's yet. Because I mean, it's all reasonable, attainable things, but it's like now I'm at a point where it's like I'm learning that like it's either a lesson or a blessing. One of the two. You know, and a lot of times, it's a lesson. For me because I'm hard-headed and stubborn, and the list goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. You know what I mean? I'm learning, and I'm still learning, and I'm going to continue to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I got 7 years does not mean that, like...
That's the gift.
Absolutely.
That's the gift.
Absolutely. I was just sitting here thinking as everybody was sharing, and I was like, remembering when I came here 7 years ago, or when I was at New Way 7 years ago, and it's like, you got to think about, like, how many people have came through that program since then? How many people have passed away from the disease of addiction?
Died?
That's the one that really gets me because, like, I'll tell you what, man, I've watched rooms of people...
Rooms.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like people that like everybody that I hung out with in my first year of recovery is dead.
Yep.
Except for my sponsor and my sponsee family. And a couple of them are dead. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
There's some hard hitters that were in the program, man, that were like
Hard hitters.
Hard hitters. You know what I'm saying? They had
Oh boy, who remembers
12
how
years.
it works? Remember him?
Yeah, the guy that wrote the format for Phoenix NA.
Yeah.
I got a message from his daughter saying that nobody's seen him for a year. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, dude, that's the reality.
You
of it.
recite the how it works.
Yeah, he wrote it. He wrote the format for Phoenix NA.
Yeah, I don't need this here, and he went back out.
Hopefully he's okay, and that's the crazy part about active addiction is you never know if somebody's alive or dead.
Nope.
I got a half a tattoo on my back, and I don't, you know what I mean. I don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
And not that like I'd rather him be alive than my tattoo get finished because I can go get that somewhere else because like a life is precious. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that I've learned in recovery is that like life is precious. You know what I mean? Like you could accidentally fall through the floor and like puncture a kidney or something, die or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be over just like that. You know what I mean? And it's like to think about like I I can see, I can walk, I can talk, all those things that like we take like for granted so much. When it's like if I just focus on those little things, like man, I'm golden.
Yeah, I've started that in my prayers is like thanking for the air in my lungs.
Right.
Thanking for the joints in my elbows that still work. Shit like that, that I just took for granted.
One thing what I was thinking about today, man. It's funny because I just came from church, right? And I was thinking today, I got this joy within me that was like, you know what? Like my life's full of love today. You know, and it's not like relationship love. I don't have a relationship. I don't foresee one
joy.
anytime right now. But it's just like the people that are around me.
He's single.
Stop it. The
He's
people
ready
that
to mingle.
stop it. The people that are around me love me, and I love them. You know what I'm saying? And like, and there's not room for hate in my life anymore. And like I was thinking about that today, man, and like it almost brought me to tears. You know what I mean? Because I can remember so long, man. Like that the hate you were talking about. Like I hated everybody for everything, and I hated
Just
myself
angry.
especially.
Just angry.
You know what I mean? And it's like it's not like that. I got love today, and like so I went to church, right? And you know they went and did some street ministry and whatnot, and like one of the things the pastor said is that God is love. And it was like, man, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, man, that's so true. You know, like and I never thought, man, I never thought I would ever be talking like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. You know, like I said, it's a learning experience, and I don't know. I mean, like I could get cancer tomorrow and have 2 months to live. You know what I mean? Like that would suck.
Enjoy life.
Yeah.
Tomorrow isn't
yeah,
promised.
like there's like I've spent so much time being angry about stuff that, for what? I can't change
Where to
it.
get you?
Yeah,
Right.
man.
You know, the only thing we can actually control is our emotions and reactions about what happens.
Right.
We can't control situations. This moment
No.
is this moment, but we can control how
There
we
was this
choose
guy
to
named
feel
Manny
about it.
in early recovery. I met this guy named Manny who,
Rest in peace, Manny.
yeah, he made
Yeah, I
a big
remember
impression on me. And he was facing some tough shit ahead, and he said it more than once. But this one of them times it hit me hard, like. And I think I was at a point in my recovery where I was all too proud to be emotional in front of people. But I went out and like lost it after. But he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get busy living.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and he had multiple years, but
Yeah.
he was given
He was dying.
yeah, he wasn't doing well, and he was just like, I'm gonna get busy living, and the motherfucker did. He did. He
Yep.
went out and he was until he couldn't no more.
Yeah.
You know, fun fact, I actually also this week went to court for some new felony charges from
Oh.
3 years ago.
Nice.
You know, and it's kind of like that.
That's a
you know.
gift.
It is a gift. And really, at least where I'm at now, I can look at it like I'm fucking guilty. You know,
Right.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste all this
Right.
time trying
Right.
to manipulate
Fix,
the
manage, and
situation.
control
Shit,
and,
man. And
you know, yeah,
What
exactly.
a different feeling going in to that first appearance than all the other times I've
Right.
gone in for a first appearance.
Right.
You know what a blessing that is? Like
You
to,
get to be
I
honest,
got-
open.
Right.
just
Yeah.
like, and there's no stress. There's
Yeah.
no worry.
You're like,
You know
it
what
is
my
what
big
it
worry
is.
was? I'd be going into court every time. It was like, shit, do I have enough dope in case I get locked up?
Right?
I was.
Or,
It was
or,
like a
of course.
or
vacation.
what's going to happen to my
Yeah.
dope while I'm locked up? You know, am I going to come
Yeah.
back and have it still waiting for me?
This is messed
Oh,
up, but I'd be
jeez.
like, am I really gonna be able to do booty dope?
I was about to say maybe to oil up that butthole.
Hey. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying.
You
like,
don't want to talk about it.
you want to talk about change in life.
Hey, that's addiction though, man. You do some
101.
strange things
That's
in
addiction
addiction.
101.
Yeah. That you wouldn't normally do, right?
And we're
Hey.
not unique. We
Right.
all do that
I
shit,
love it.
you know?
Yeah. Got me high though.
Yeah, yeah.
So listen, you guys, we went way on a different path than the plan.
Whoops.
We're gonna be doing the podcast tomorrow all day from the Ride for Recovery. So anyone coming down, I'd love to have you guys hop on for whether it's 1 minute, 10 minutes, or 5 hours. I don't care. I'm gonna have a guy from North Carolina guest hosting for a little bit. Carl M. Everyone that you're hearing on the show tonight is gonna be down here tomorrow. I have one other thing I want to bring up. It's a red, white, and barbecue party that's coming up July 8th and 9th. Let's celebrate freedom from active addiction and alcoholism, all that good stuff. Celebration. It's red, white, and barbecue, fireworks, food, fellowship, 7077 Old Viking Boulevard, Anoka, Saturday, 2 p.m. Saturday to Sunday.
July 8th and 9th. Come
What did
out
I
and meet
say?
my family. It's going to be at my
Oh.
parents' house up in Nalvin.
Oh, this is your shindig.
This is my shindig.
Yes,
Yes,
camping,
yes.
space limited, text for reservations. Contact Nellie. With her permission, I'll throw it up here.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a hot tub, meeting at 4, bonfire, meeting after dinner, dinner at 5, hamburgers, hot dogs provided. Bring some of your own food. Definitely bring some. It's like a potluck.
Potluck. Bring some
Yes.
side dishes, some beverages. We're going to have volleyball. We're going to have bean bags.
It's going to be a blast.
It's going to
by
be a
the looks
great
of
time.
this. It's
Lots
gonna
and
be-
lots
yes.
of big explosive fireworks.
Yeah,
Boom, blah, pop. Boom,
So
blah,
come
pop.
on down on your birthday. She said that's her birthday. Good. Come celebrate your birthday here. That's going to be awesome. So, also, we've got the Ride for Recovery celebration tomorrow. That's what the show was going
Yes.
to be. Is
Yes.
Talking about that.
Yes.
Remember, be here at 9 a.m. to 11 or to 10:30 a.m. for the French toast breakfast and registrations. There's a $5 donation for breakfast. At 10:45, we have the mandatory riders meeting. It goes for like 10, 15 minutes. They're just going to go over some of the safety stuff about riding with a road guard, a little prayer, some safety stuff. You got to be there. Come check it out. Kickstands up at 11, leaving from 2218 First Avenue South. Then at 1 p.m., festivities kick off. Let me rewind. If it's raining and you're not feeling it and you don't want to go for the ride, the party's starting here at 11 o'clock then. So come on down regardless. If you don't ride, good. The riding's over at 1 o'clock anyways. So come check out the party here at 2218. Very kid-friendly, very everything friendly. So come on down. 1:30 p.m. is the first speaker. 2 p.m. silent auction and drawing begins. 2:30 p.m. we have the comedy hour. At 4 p.m. we have a barbecue. Music begins. The Jim Stairs Band. 5 p.m. speaker. 7 p.m. silent auction. Drawing ends. 9 p.m. we have the shindig dance off. It's going to be a blast. A whole day of fun. We got dunk tank, 50-50 raffles, horseshoes, and bean bags, all that stuff. It's going to be a blast. So come on down. If I missed something, come on down and tell me I missed it. What else? I don't want to miss any of this jazz. It's going to be a blast tomorrow. It's going to be huge. So tell everyone, come one, come all. If you have an issue with the wristband situation, financials, come find me. We'll figure something out. I'll help out however I can, or we'll get you in one way or the other. So you're all welcome. Everyone's welcome to come on down and check the shindig out. Other than that, this is the point in the show where we talk about gratitude. So, Rob, tell us about your gratitude.
Yes.
What are you grateful for today?
Summertime, baby.
That's not an answer. I want to
That is a definite answer,
I
Tim.
want a detailed answer. What are you grateful for? I love it.
No, man. Yeah, I was.
What are you grateful for, fart boy?
That I don't have to wake up
We-
early in the morning.
We talked about some heavy shit tonight.
Yeah, you missed out on what you actually asked me here for. Remember? You were like, "Yeah, we're gonna talk about that." And I
You
was
know
like,
what?
Okay,
Before
cool.
we go, I want to talk about Rob's gratitude because I know you went through something, and it's the second time you went through something.
Yeah.
What did you go through, and how did you get through it, and what are you grateful for about it?
Well, I had my motorcycle stolen again. So the second time in 6 months, I got my bike back after Harley had it for 6 months. I rode it probably 3 times. I come home from work one day and my bike is not in the visitor parking where I left it. So I mean, I thought it got towed. It might have got towed. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. So
Well,
I'm
when
at-
you called me, you weren't sure at that point if it
yeah,
had
I thought it got
gotten towed.
stolen.
You
I
were
thought,
like,
I thought it got stolen.
yeah.
Like stolen and towed. Like it was,
You weren't sure.
well, because I called the towing company that contracts for my apartment, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't have that. I'm like, what? Like, no, maybe it's because a friend of mine had her car towed, and they didn't know that they towed it. So I thought maybe that could have been the case. You know what
You're
I mean?
like, it can't have
But
got
then when I
stolen,
finally
man.
heard that like it was stolen, like I felt so stupid. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I'm like, 'cause, like my thought process was like, yeah, man, everybody's either gonna think that A, I have something to do with it, or B, that I'm just stupid. You know what I mean? Like this is just like I can't believe the same shit happened to me again. You know what I mean? And like the beauty of that is like still 303 people shared my bike.
Yes.
303 people.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, there's no way I'm getting my bike back, man. They had
not
these,
for a second time.
right, the second time. What are the odds of that, man? So even when I called the cop to report it stolen, he's like, dude, that's like getting hit with lightning. I was like, oh, thanks. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
because
saying?
we got to hear the story about how it did return to you.
Yeah, so like I said, 303 shares, and so I get a call. Well, actually, I missed a whole bunch of calls, and there was another guy that called me and said, hey, this guy reached out to me about your bike. He's like, this is his name, and by that time, he had already called me like 6 times, but I missed it. I don't know why. Like I had my. No, I wasn't at work. I just took my mom out to dinner for her birthday and shit and stuff and things and whatnot. And so I get a call, man, and I pick up the phone and this guy's like, hey, it's about your bike. And I said, oh, okay. It's like my heart's starting to pound and I'm starting to think like this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in my head, but like, and he's like, hey, look, man. He's like, if I'll tell you where it is, man, and I'll guard it and I'll meet you there. You just got to promise not to hurt me. Or nothing happened to me, right? And I said, okay, I promise I'm not going to harm you. You know what I mean? So I call my friend, my best friend Samantha, and she's like, because I was like, I'm kind of thinking about, beating him up.
Yeah.
Because I told him before I got off the phone, I'm like, well, because he said that his friend, his friend asked him. He said his friend asked him for a ride to his motorcycle, and he didn't know that was my motorcycle. So, and then before I hung up the phone, I was like, well, you tell your friend he owes me $300. You know what I mean? Because that's how much it costs a Harley to get my ignition switch fixed. You know what I mean? And I was like, so you tell your friend he owes me that money, then, it'll be all good, right? So,
in your head, were you like, no, I know you're the one who took it? But
that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was like, all right, man. I'm going to come up over there. You know what I mean? And so I call my friend, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking about beating him up. She said, don't do that.
Your voice of reasoning.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm on the other line with Lisa. That's the leasing agent at my building. She's 2 minutes away. If anybody can get the information out of him, it's her. Because I'm trying to figure out who his friend is. He's not telling me. Which, I mean, to be honest, man, like, hey, I respect that. That's loyalty, man. You don't find that too much out in the streets. But anyways, not in this situation. You know what I mean? So she's 2 minutes away, and she's going to get this information out of him, So, like, I pull up, and, she's talking to him, and the guy's kind of sitting there, and and I start kind of going on a tangent, and I'm thinking about, how I just got this fixed, and the ignition switch broken, and I'm thinking about, like sweating my ass off in an apartment, painting it, you know what I mean? And I'm just starting to fume, you know what I'm saying? And like, and he wasn't telling me like where his friend was, who his friend was, you know what I mean? And luckily, like, Lisa was there, and she calmed me down, and she was like, yeah, she's like, we have him on camera. Like, you're going to get your money. Like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I kind of calmed down a little bit, right? And so, like, we start talking. And so before the end, he was like, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I went to a meeting 3 years ago, and you saved my life. And, yeah, man,
yeah.
that's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, why didn't you lead with that, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you know what I mean? But it was like, in that situation, man, like, that was God telling me to get back into the program and lead with my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the impact that it had on that individual's life, right? So, and ever since then, I mean, I've picked up 3 sponsees, and that was
Sometimes we need big flashy signs.
That was
That's
a month
big
ago,
flashy sign,
right? And so I was really, bent out of shape, and I said, yeah, you got 3 days to give me my money. You know what I mean? You got 3 days. And so a friend of mine sent me some Bible verses, and I read them, and I'm like, oh, why you gotta send me that, man? So of course, I just sent him a message. I said, hey, man, you know what? The debt's forgiven. You know what I'm saying? I'll get it fixed. Here's my number. If you want to get off the streets, give me a call. And like the beauty about the program is I've had so many situations like this.
How'd that make you feel when you sent that message?
Good. You know what I mean? Like, it did. It made me feel good, because I was like, you know what, man? Like, it made me feel grateful about, like, where my life is. Like, yeah, I can take my bike over to a mechanic and get it fixed. Yeah. Like, just like that. It was, and the guy swamped. You know what I mean? And, like, yeah, I'll squeeze you in. He squeezes you in. You know what I mean? Like, so I went and got it fixed, and I was just grateful that, like, I could do that, And, like, and I didn't really wallow in my pity for that long, like, after the fact that it got stolen. I was like, you know what, man? Like, I got a good enough job. If I want another one, I can get another one. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and let's not forget, like, I'm sure someone offered you a bike right away. Someone was probably like, you know what, Rob? Dude, come grab my bike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love it.
This is a show about ego sometimes.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, right. I love it. He's just been dropping little ego nuggets all evening.
But that's what your life looks like today. You got people that
no,
do shit like
there
that.
was there definitely wasn't, and if anybody said, hey, you should come borrow my bike, it definitely wasn't their bike. You know what I mean?
It was a
it was
situation
only
like the bike
yeah,
you got
right.
for.
It was only theirs for the meantime until you got it, and then you get caught with it. Yeah, yeah. And then I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? So yeah, God's got a way of showing up. You know.
So now let me hear you with that corny ass answer about I don't have to get up early. What are you grateful for, Rob?
I don't have to get up early. He's so mad.
Story and you just told
No, man.
grateful for in life today?
Everything, man. Everything.
That doesn't play well with
That's a very good answer because what because without pain I'm not gonna know joy. You know what I mean? And without darkness I'm not gonna know light. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, long time ago, a couple
You're
years
grateful
ago.
for everything.
You're terrible. You're terrible. You gotta give me some grace, man.
All right. You're grateful for everything.
Hey, I'm grateful for your sausage fingers, Tim.
All right, I'm fucking with you. But listen,
Yeah.
gratitude. Dusty's on. Good job, Dustin.
Dusty?
Yeah, Dustin.
What up, Dusty?
Gratitude's a motherfucker. I'll tell you what. I'm grateful for you. I'm glad that you said what you said. Serious, like, no, I get it. You are grateful for everything, and you explained your faith and how you are able to.
And that's why I'm grateful for everything. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't
know.
be, you know?
I just had to recap it for people like Dustin who decided to hop on with 5 minutes left.
He probably has stuff to do. Dustin's a busy man.
Oh, I'm not the center of his universe?
No, you're not.
Oh my God.
What are you grateful for in life today?
You know, just walking into a random room tonight and getting introduced to all you great people. I'm grateful, thinking about your story, silver linings and a clear head to see and appreciate them. Yeah, super grateful to just have great weather tonight and
Yeah.
looking forward to this whole weekend full of festivities and, the amazing people that I've met. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, dear. What are you grateful for tonight, Jess?
I'm
In your
grateful
life.
for family.
Just a one. That's it.
Yeah. And just where I'm at today in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 words.
Damn, he haven't counted.
How about you? What are
Yeah.
you grateful
What are you
for?
grateful
Yeah,
for,
what-
Tim?
Host up better.
So let's hear your
Gratitude.
answer.
I'm going to use a situation that happened about 2 hours ago. I had a guy come in to help me. I had a guy come in to help me, and I threatened him without him knowing that I'm done. This is my last podcast, and he don't know it, and this club's going to hurt because of it. I'm
You're ridiculous.
telling
I love
you,
it.
that's what my head did.
That's some addict thinking, right?
Within 5 minutes later, having a very important person in my life that I count on that doesn't co-sign my shit, didn't co-sign my shit, and my whole thought process changed and realized that I was way out of pocket. And my whole thought changed, and in the middle of the show, I went to go hunt that dude down to apologize and make some type of amends because he didn't deserve that. He's doing his job around here. He's busting his ass, trying to run a meeting, trying to get the Ride for Recovery going, trying to run a club, trying to play catch up from the bullshit that was handed to him when he was given this club, and I'm over here threatening him. I was wrong. And that's what I'm grateful for. I would never have been. I would have held on to that torch and burnt this bitch down if I didn't have this life today. I'm grateful for that stuff. And you know what else? I'm grateful for my mom.
Mommy.
Mommy!
Mom.
And I'm grateful for women in my life who don't co-sign my shit. You know what I give to that? I love my sound effects. I love my sound effects. What you think, Rob? What you think, Rob? Oh, you. Yeah, back up the fart. Backing up the fart. So the one time Dustin hops on, he hears this just clowning. Sweet.
Oh man, you didn't let me.
All right, guys and girls, tomorrow's the big ride for recovery. Come on down. Come check this club out. Come support this club. Like I said, if you have a tough time taking care of getting a wristband, just come find me. I'll put some information up about the July 7th and 8th party. I will get my contact info in here. Share this show. Talk to people about recovery. If you are struggling tonight, please fight for yourself. Please go find a meeting. Come check out 2218. Get connected. You're worth the fight. If you are feeling some harmful thoughts or whatever, I'll throw a hotline up here. Please don't give up. You are worth the fight. You're loved. If no one's told you that today, let me be the one to tell you, like, I love you. I don't know you, but I know that I love you. So life can be better. Just please fight for yourself. Until tomorrow. Deuces. Huh, boys and girls?
Huh?
Back to the show. Good job.